You're watching Wake Up Western Slope.
Welcome back, Western Slope. All April long, the Hog and the Hen is hosting Sidewalk Saturdays. It's all the joy of a mini farmer's market with local vendors, puppy adoptions, liquor tasting, and so much more. Today, I'm joined by the Hog and the Hen's owner, Cooper Hall. Cooper, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, yeah. I just wanted to talk a bit about this event. Tell me about Sidewalk Saturdays.
Sidewalk Saturdays is something we've been doing the last couple of weeks, and then we've got one coming up this weekend, and then the final weekend of April. And it's just an opportunity to get a bunch of our favorite local vendors together in front of our store, and then also out on the block. We're doing it between 5th and 6th on Main Street. So it's not just in front of our store. Some of the other stores are participating as well. So, you know, if you go up and down the street, you'll likely see other vendors popped up. But it's just a cool place to bring people together, showcase their goods, you know, kind of network their businesses, and you know, let people know also that they can find all those cool things in our store as well.
Absolutely. You know, it's such an homage to local vendors having something like this happening just in the middle of April. What was kind of the inspiration behind starting something like this?
You know, April is typically a pretty mellow month as far as events go. You know, May's got the bike race and Cinco de Mayo, and you know, there's a lot more organized buzz that's going on Main Street and downtown. And we just thought this winter's been pretty mellow overall weather-wise. You know, it's like people have been out and about. We've been seeing a lot of foot traffic. And Saturdays particularly are pretty mellow in the mornings. You know, I think a lot of people are taking their time in the morning to get going, and then in the afternoon they come out. And we just figured it'd be a good opportunity to give people something to do in the mornings downtown that is kind of fun and interactive and free. You know, they can just come down and check things out.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, free, that's the big thing, right? I mean, we all love that. I want to circle back to some of these vendors that you've had already throughout the month so far. What are some of the businesses that we've been seeing at these?
The list is pretty extensive. I had to write it down. Shoots Eatery, it's a cool mobile food business. Underdog Animal Rescue, we've had puppy adoptions with them in the past, and they've always been really successful. It's always fun having them out. You know, even if people just want to come down and pet some dogs, that's always fun. But the events themselves have been really productive as far as, you know, finding forever homes for these dogs. Creative Tinkering does really cool leather and canvas goods. We've got a few in our family ourselves. They're quality, they're awesome. Pear Blossom Farms, one of the coolest local makers of food in the valley. You know, they make really awesome hot sauces and salsas and jellies and jams, and it's a good representation of, you know, the agriculture that this community has to offer. And I gotta say, Tom from Pear Blossoms has been setting up some really awesome tastings that are pretty over the top so far. So even if you just want to bite of something, come down and check them out. Roth's Pretzels, I mean, he's well established in the valley. You'll see him at all the farmers markets and, you know, pop-up events, but he's been down sampling and selling his pretzels. Decadence Gourmet Cheesecake in a Jar, they make really cool desserts in a jar and also some savory stuff. You know, they've been a part of it. The Balloon Dude, this guy's super talented. He's making like really creative balloon creations. It's always fun, and that's a cool draw for the kids, you know, because they can come down. He's really good at talking with them and engaging them and finding something that, you know, they want, and the stoke on the kids' faces is really cool when they walk away with some big balloon thing. Sarone's Whimsical Art Illustrations. It's actually one of our employees, and she's got this cool style of art that's just really engaging, and you know, it's cool seeing people engage with her too. You know, I think she really lights up when she's talking about it, which is fun to see.
So many amazing vendors and so many more to come. Well, Cooper, thank you so much for joining me here today to talk a little bit about this event. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us on.
Of course. Well, stick around, Western Slope. We'll have more news and weather headed your way in just a little bit.